This is the Panther Gaming Chair. I don't normally recommend gaming chairs. They're usually gimmicky and way more expensive than they need to be. But this was within a good price range that I felt was good enough to try. A friend of mine got one and he likes it, so, and my bread's ready. So we'll put this together and then we'll have a short review after that. Here it is put together, looking like a beauty. Alright, so let's talk about the pros first before I get into the cons. There's quite a bit. Number one would probably be ease of putting the whole thing together. It took me about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because I read the instructions. The instructions were really easy to understand. They were all in pictures, so you really couldn't get it wrong. So all you had to do was slot in the wheels into the base, slot the seat into the base. Pretty much, there was some screwing in, right? But the instructions show you everything that you need to do, and it comes with its own Allen key, which fits all of the Allen bolts that you'd need to work with. And then the backrest just slots into this bit, and then you tighten it that way, and you just kind of screw this support into the backrest. But the thing is, the entire back, that's the only thing supporting it. This is it. So not sure how flimsy that'll be. I don't know how durable that'll be over time. So easy to put together, check. The way it looks, fantastic. I love black and blue combination. I actually sent them a message a few months ago asking them to tell me when the black and blue combination comes in, and they did. As soon as it did, I ordered, and it looks great. I love the logo. I love the way it says Panther right there. Looks fantastic. Another thing I like is that it wheels around a little better than my old chair. My old chair for some reason didn't wheel too well, so that's great. Okay, now let's talk about the cons. Going into it, I knew gaming chairs, how they looked, and then how they're put together. But as you can see, that's not mesh at all. And in a country, and I knew this coming in, so you know I was kind of prepared for it. But in a country like the Philippines, where it gets really hot during the summer months, the hotter months. I don't know if we really do have summer. We kind of have summer all year round, but in the hotter summer months, it gets really hot, it gets really humid. So this thing will not breathe at all. So the only kind of ventilation you're going to have would be these things, and I don't think that's enough. So it'll get really hot and you're going to get really sweaty. And when you sweat on this material, if you've ever owned like a headphones of the same material, or a leather watch, or even like a leather wallet, you know that if you start sweating on these things and you don't clean it regularly, they're going to stink. They're going to stink up a hell of a lot. So I'm just kind of waiting for the day that my wife calls me out on this and I'd have to clean it out. But yeah, that's what the material is made of. Actually, speaking of the material, number one, this is the type that will flake off over time. This is the type of fake leather pleather that will eventually start flaking off. It'll stick to your back, stick to your butt. It'll be all over the floor once it starts peeling off. And I think that's due to, I don't know, probably moisture or the heat. But the same thing happened to a number of my headphones, and it's pretty much the same material. Another would be the stitching. The stitching isn't fantastic. Like, you could even start pulling it apart, you're going to see the white seams there. But you know, it costs $100, less than $100, 5,000 pesos. So you're going to have to take a little bit of a hit for what is essentially a gaming chair that costs like 25% of what a normal gaming chair would cost. So it has the look, it just doesn't have like the bells and whistles. I knew this coming in though, so I was kind of prepared for that. Also, you're going to notice a lack of armrest, and the reason why I didn't have the armrest and put it in, one is you're going to see that these things are at an angle. and that's where you kind of affix the armrest. So when you put the armrest in, it's going to be at a weird angle this way, which will make like the overall profile of the chair a little larger. And I don't have a lot of space. This is what I have to work with, right? So having that kind of profile is good enough for me. But another reason why I didn't put it is because, and I confirmed this with them, I sent them a message and they confirmed it with me, is that when you want to put in the armrest, you're going to have to puncture a hole in the material to affix the armrest. You're going to puncture a hole in the material, 4 holes all in all, to get the armrest in. I don't know if that's the same way most gaming chairs do it, but for this one, that's the case. In terms of comfort, which is probably the most important thing, besides the lack of ventilation and breathability, it's actually not 100% more comfortable than my old chair. Reason being is that the seat itself isn't that wide. These things are meant to provide like side support, but they're kind of hard. And all they really do is kind of squish your legs together in this tiny, probably 1.25 feet, thereabouts. That's the entire, well, we could measure it. If I could measure with one hand. You're looking at around, yeah, 14 inches worth of seat, which isn't a lot really. So for big boys like me, my legs kind of get squished together by these things, and this is all I kind of have to sit on. Lumbar support is pretty good. Backrest is pretty comfortable, but that's pretty much all you're sitting on. So not entirely super comfortable, but comfortable enough. I knew this going in. So if you are looking for a cheap, amazing looking gaming chair, which you may have to reupholster if you want to keep it around for a number of years, because this will flake off, this will seriously deteriorate over time, that kind of material. If you're looking for something like that, this is perfect. It looks great. It's inexpensive. If you're a starting out streamer looking for a gaming chair, this would be great for you. It looks good. It's cheap, easy to put together. But yeah, it doesn't breathe. Not that super comfortable. And you're going to have to puncture holes in it if you want to put the armrest in. So if you're looking for a more practical solution, I wouldn't recommend something like this. If you're looking for a more practical solution, I would recommend that you get a nice meshed back office chair. That way, you have something that breathes, something more comfortable, something designed for you to sit on for hours and hours on end. So yeah, that is my review of the Panther Gaming chair. I'm kind of stuck with it for the next few years. I like it. It's just that it's not the most practical thing. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, by the way, did you know this thing vibrates? Whoop. Look at it. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah.